Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Very good morning or very good afternoon to all. I guess all of you here, uh, doctors in Pusat Pengajian Sains Perubatan at our health campus in Kubang Krian. Thank you for being with me. I've been tasked today to talk to you about uh, doctors in court. The normal title that you will have, doctors always in the hospital, but here we are talking about if you've been summoned in court. That's why we need a topic as a requirement for all of you to know what going to happen and how you're going to deal when you have issues being summoned to the court, particularly at the time you've been receiving the statement of claim or writ of summons against you for potential medical legal claim. So topic today is about doctors in court, not doctors in hospital. It's because when you are in court, there will be different procedures, different applications, different knowledge, and how you're going to deal once you've been summoned to court. This is the thing that we would like to share with you, particularly on the specific issues of medical legal claim. So, why this topic is important for all of you today? Of course, if you look at the slides, it shows that how many of you are facing how many lawyers in reality. Okay, there are the numbers of lawyers and doctors in Malaysia. Actually, we are equivalent numbers. We have equivalent numbers of lawyers and doctors in Malaysia. But when a particular case happen against you, normally there will be one or two, more than two lawyers defending a plaintiff. So you need to be aware, many lawyers will give advice to the patients about their rights, their rights in whatever situations they are facing, particularly about the medical legal. So in short, why this topic is important is simply because there are lawyers outside there who are ready to go against doctors once you have done mismanagement in terms of malpractice of your professions, and also of course negligence in your profession. So we now dealing with the situations of medical legal, and I will share with you the statistics of medical legal that we have at the moment. As a teaching hospital, definitely we do have our medical legal case higher compared to a normal KKM hospitals, simply because we are teaching hospitals. So let us share with you the statistics from KKM. If you look at the statistic from KKM, this statistic, yes, I agree, was about 5 years ago. We don't have the correct statistic at the moment, but the statistic, if you look at the trend, they are becoming higher and higher in terms of KKM. Okay, and for example, KKM has paid out ex gratia for a lot of their medical legal cases, simply because the issue of ex gratia, you don't want to admit responsibility, and as such you avoiding to go to court. And ex gratia is a payment outside court, payment for settlements outside court. And if you look at the payment of ex gratia, it goes up. It is between the range between 24 million in 2015, and 2018 is 80 million. Okay, so the litigation cases for all the medical legal cases at KKM is quite high compared to other cases, simply because most of the negligent cases happen at the government hospital. Okay, look at the data around the world. The Harvard study shows that there are about 180,000 cases per year. But this data is an old data, okay? But now, if you look at the real situation, it's more than 180,000 cases per year. And the Institute of Medicine study shows that there were about 500 cases per year about the cases on medical legal. But this data were 2003 data. It's not the current data, because at the moment, if we look at the current data, then there are more and higher numbers of medical legal happen around the world. These are the statistics. If we look at at least for the 5 main countries, if we can compare, USA and UK, they are the patients there are very high alert on the medical legal, and as such, the higher numbers of injuries happen on the medical legal cases are also higher. India also, definitely they are the second highest population, but there's no data to show about their medical legal. But if you look at those advanced countries like USA, UK, Australia and Canada, the numbers are very discouraging. I mean, the numbers are very high, and of course, it's alarming as well. Okay, definitely the data make us nervous, simply because the data shows that there are many malpractice and medical legal cases happen throughout the year. And you may wonder whether you are in the right professions or not. Because if you think that you are not in the right profession simply because you can easily be sued, then of course our program today is to ensure that at least we minimize the risk of being sued by the patients or next of kins of the patients. And don't worry about the data, simply because the data also to the patients is also worrying to the patients. To rakyat jelata, they also worry about the high numbers of medical legal happen in Malaysia. Okay, the increased numbers of the medical legal definitely are the main concerns of the rakyat at the moment, simply because they've been reported in the news, and particularly when it been reported in Cosmo, for example, in Metro, for example, the case was that particular case is portrayed like a very serious case, whereby sometimes it is not totally the mistake of us, that means that you as a doctor or nurse, but it also sometimes it also involves many various issues that contribute to the negligence. It's not simply when a negligence happen, it's only we will only be the sole person responsible for it. Okay, so when we talk about medical legal, you are talking about the issue of you left some things inside the abdomen. This is the normal photos that being used to portray medical legal, whereby is it really happen or not? Okay, at least it does not happen in USM. Okay, but the photo shows that, look, it really somebody has left the scissors inside the abdomen, whereby it's not simply that this I would say a grave negligence doesn't happen frequently, and definitely it does not happen in USM. But I would like to share with you a serious case that really happened in USM, but instead of scissors, is something else. Okay, this is also a case to portray that something has been left, and I can assure you that this X-ray is our case in hospital USM. Something has been left in the abdomen. I will share with you later on shortly about what has been happening. But I would like to share with you another case, important case of this gosh. Before I proceed to share with you this fact of the case, I would have to say this case has really a nightmare to me, and it was a nightmare to the the higher management of USM back in 2016. Okay, the issue of these gauge pads. Okay, I've been using this case as an example in every talk of my medical legal talks, and you won't imagine what happened in this in this one case of medical legal. Fact of the case was back in 2016. It was also reported in Cosmo and Metro. A husband sued USM for RM 8 million. Okay, what happened was his wife, a disease, passed away after delivering their second child. A baby boy was born back in 2016. The baby boy survived. The mother passed away. The mother passed away after 7 days after she delivered the boy. The situation was something like this. One day at about 7:30 p.m., she delivered a baby boy, and after that, she has been admitted to the ward, the normal routine procedure. But after a day after the seizure happened, she had been suffering a serious pain. She has lodged a complaint about the serious pain happened in her stomach, and our doctor has done some checking and didn't find anything suspicious. Okay, so before our ONG has been attending her, and of course she has the past record of diabetic and also high blood pressure. Okay, I was told that her size also quite big, was about 80 kilograms, her size. And yes, she undergone the seizure procedures, and after that admitted to the hospital, admitted to the normal ward, and after 1 day lodged a complaint on the stomach pain. After repeated complaint on the day 3 and day 4 of the stomach pain, then the specialist at our hospital has asked her to undergo an X-ray. Guess what? What they found during the X-ray? They have found the gauge pads has been left in her abdomen. It means that the gauge pad has been left during the caesar's operation. During the cesarean operations, and this gauge pad has been left by the attending doctors, and as such, another emergency surgery has need to be done in order to remove the gauge pads from her abdomen. She then suffered a serious complications due to the bacteria, etc. And as a result, on day 7, she passed away. Okay. What I would like you to guess is how many pads that has been left in her abdomen. I have done the survey prior to attending this recording. In my previous talks, for the past 5 years, I've been asking how many pads that you can anticipate being left in her abdomen. Okay, I suspect the same answers from all of you today. Some of you, majority of you will even say, even one gauge pad is serious enough. Okay, one gauge pad to be inside the abdomen of a patient is a serious enough. But I can assure you, it's more than one pad. So the question now is, how many pad can you guess the maximum number of pads, okay, that has been left inside her abdomen during the cesarean surgery? Okay, I'm not with you now, but I can suspect most of you will say 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I don't think any of you will guess more than 5. But let's say if you are guessing more than 5, how many if it is more than 5? Definitely some of you said that it is illogical to do that. It's really insane, tak masuk akal to say to leave more than 5 pets. Okay? But in our case, the university have to set up an investigation committee simply because we want to know the truth on what happened. At the time, the committee was chaired by the Vice Chancellor himself. Simply because the Vice Chancellor was very upset on what happened when he heard that the number of the gauge pad that has been left inside the abdomen is, okay, not is, are. How many? You guess? So there were about 16 gauge pads has been left inside the abdomen. 16. I suspect now you are, if you are listening to me well, you will say, wow, what happened? And you will also ask, is really insane, is really illogical, tak logik langsung, tak masuk di akal. Okay? And you will say that, why this thing happen? It should not happen this way simply because you have the procedures to do the counting. Okay, the gauge pads, every time during the surgery, the gauge pad has been passed to the surgeon and then it been counted. It cannot be like what I share with you simply because the gauge pads every time being passed to the surgeon, it need to be counted, it need to be recorded in writing. This is why the committee need to be set up. Okay, I remember the committee was also comprised of a very senior surgeon at Hospital USM. The pengarah hospital also been appointed, and there were 2 also senior surgeons has been appointed. Myself and also the chairman was the vice chancellors at the time, Professor Dato Omar Osman. During the investigation sessions, we call up all the relevant parties, including the attending doctors. Bear in mind, the attending doctors is the registrar. Means that 4th years MMed students, and we call up the scrub nurse, and there were 3 nurses. I forgot the scrub nurse, the running nurse, I think, and also the supervisors to the students. Okay. The investigation committee found out the following facts on the situation, on what happened until the 16 gauge pads has been left inside the abdomen. You may want to know what really happened because it's really insane to know the incident like this. Okay, so we found out that the reason why this thing happened was, number 1, it happened at 7:20 p.m. during Maghrib time. Second, it happened during Ramadan month. Third, all the nurses were in hurry to buy their buka puasa meal. Fourth, at that time, during the Caesar session, only the attending doctors, the registrar, and 1 attendant, female attendant, were there. Okay. Now, I guess you can suggest, you can complete the other dramas in this issue. Simply because everybody is rushing to buy their own buka puasa. They don't have the procedure. Suppose we have the procedures, take turn in buying the foods, meals, etc. This is an emergency case, but because of everybody has been violating the rules, leaving only the attending doctors to the situations. Okay. In one session, a participant asked me why the doctors didn't go to buy the fast. Is it she pesan? Okay, you may wonder also he or she. She. The doctor is she. Maybe she pesan. The doctor no need to buy the breakfast meal simply because she's a non-Muslim. Okay. Yeah, the attendant was there. Attendant is a Muslim lady, and she was the one who passed the gauze to the doctor. Remember the procedures. The attendant has not been trained to record, and she didn't know that she need to record the gauze. Okay, and then what happened to the doctors? She didn't realize that the gauze that she has been using, simply because of the lot of bloods to the patients, is illogical as well for her not to remember that how many gauze that she has been used. We asked that questions to the registrar, to the doctors, and the answer is that she cannot remember how many gauze that she has been used. We scrutinized her, we investigated her further, but look, we can understand it is one gauze, but we cannot understand this is 16 gauze pads. 16 is many, and most of the doctors, from experience, we got it from the panels. They said they will not use more than 5. But in this case, why they use more than 5, and in this case 16 and some more, all the 16s has been left over at the abdomen. It means that not even single gauze pads has been removed after the operations, after the sessions finish. Not a single one. So we did ask another bonanza questions to the doctors. Is it you are not happy with the nurses when they went out to buy the meals? And at first instant, she didn't admit on that situations, but later on, indirectly, she said that she's not happy the way that our nurses has been doing, simply because they didn't get her permission to go out. But the anger, her upset at the time, the anger mood that she's been suffering at the time, made her to just finish the session without taking out the gauze pads. I guess this is one of the situations whereby we can't believe that this is really happened. Okay, particularly to a registrar. Of course, the committee also asked whereabouts of the supervisors. The supervisors were not present at the time, but we were told also the supervisor cannot be attending the whole rounds the whole time with their students. So we understand it. But in this case, the mishap happened, and the situations cannot be corrected. I guess the boy now is about 7 years old, not 70, 7 years old. I don't think he has a sweet memories with hospital USM. He definitely have a bad memory. He lost his mother due to our negligence, due to our, I would say, grave mistakes from us. He lost the mother. Definitely, the husband's also not happy with it. He sued USM on behalf of the boy. the boy also sued USM, and the husband also sued USM, and yeah, I heard also the husband, of course, remarry, but it doesn't stop the husband to sue Hospital USM. So the next episode is about we been sued in court. We been sued in court for 8 million ringgit. Do you think that the amount is justified? The amount is reasonable? If you think so, that is the task of the legal advisor, okay, not your task. This is where the session is good for you to understand. Your task is to help to assist the legal advisors in order to arrive for the best solutions, for the best settlements in court. Okay, they are asking for 8 million simply because they said that the boy lost the mother, the husband also lost the wife, and the fact that the wife is housewife, the wife also does not earn anything during the death, and she's a full-time housewife. The husband's occupation also is a normal occupations in during kampung works at his place. All these things being taken into factor. But my question to you, I knew the facts. I knew the facts from A to Y at least. Do you think that I should defend the case in court when he sued us? Do you think, is it ethical for me to defend USM in court? Whereby, like I said to you just now, I shared to you, is really our grave mistake. Our mistake. Nothing else. Okay, it's a really mistake of bulan puasa, pergi cari buka puasa, and they left their post, their sessions, and they didn't follow the procedures. They, I mean the nurses, but the doctors also didn't follow the procedures, whereby then she need to check first on the numbers of the gauge, and she failed to do that. So I knew the facts, and the husband sued us. Do you think that I should defend the university, or do you think that I should just admit, confess to the mistake? Okay. So in law, okay, if you admit to the mistake, you are mostly liable to what they claim. In this case, 8 million. Okay. Okay, so in court, I just share with you how we deal with this case, such a case like this in court. We will defend our case, meaning that we will deny our liability. Okay, however, the fact that we deny our liability simply because we want to reduce the amount claimed. So the quantum of the damages, 8 million, is unreasonable. Okay, so the quantum only we need to reduce, not the liability. So we first start with non-emission of the liability, meaning deny their claim, but at the same time we start negotiating with the lawyers, the other side lawyers, for a lower amount of compensation, damages or ex gratia. Okay. In this case, we said that this is the disease has passed away. We know that she suffered for 7 days. The suffering we want to pay per day. She is not earning because she's a housewife. At the end of the day, from 8 million, okay, we say that if you agree to receive certain amount of payment, which we will negotiate, discuss now, we will admit liability, iaitu pengakuan bersalah, tetapi amount of the compensation we going to agree first. Then only we admit liability. We don't want to say we deny everything, we don't admit liability. We're going to admit liability, but with an agreed amount of damages. Okay. So, this second phase, how much the best damages in order to correct the situations? Okay, what do you feel? How much? Okay, some of you will say 5 million. Some goes down to 1 million. Some is 180,000, 180,000. Okay, you may shock about the amount that we settle, but that is the amount according to the compendium. What is compendium? Compendium means that there is a list of amount to be paid if we do the medical legal. Okay, in this case, our medical legal resulting to pass to the patient pass away. Okay, meninggal. So meninggal, the amount of compensation should be lower, not 8 million. Okay, the amount of bereavement of 10,000, the amount of sympathy of 10,000, all together adding up, plus the suffering of 7 days is adding up to 180 million. Although they at first they refused to accept it because they said that they only going to settle at 500,000, but at the end of the day, simply because of the court costs, the lawyers costs, etc., it been agreed at 180,000. Okay, so since I'm in the topic of the compensation, who will pay this 180,000? So this is the third phase of our discussion. You may wonder, who will pay the 180,000 if we agreed for the payment? Okay, so this is why we need to have this medical legal program or session, simply because I will illustrate to you, share with you, the 180,000 definitely will come, the most big portion of it will come from our insurers. So all of you are being insured. Rest assured, you are students to USM, doing MMed or even doing undergraduate perubatan, you will be insured by our medical legal insurance. Our medical legal insurance is work like this. The policy covers us until 5 million. The policy covers us until 5 million. So the policies says, further provide that if it is 50,000, then you still have to fork out 50,000. So above the 50,000, all being paid by the insurance. So in this case, if it is 180,000, university will pay 50,000. The balance of 130,000 will come from the insurance. Okay, of course, the insurance premium will be rising a little bit in the next year due to our compensation. So in this case, we are only liable for 50,000 only. Okay, and the rest being paid through the insurance. That's why we have insurance of 5 million to cover to cover all the medical legal cases. Okay, 50,000, is it coming from the students pocket, or from the supervisor's pocket, or from the university pocket? It comes from our legal office account. So university has dedicated a certain amount of money in term of we want to settle a case outside court. So we use that money, 50,000, in order to pay for settlements of the case. Okay. So in this case, remember, we are doing, we are protecting you as a students. You now aware that you've been protected, you have the be insured, you have the insurance cover as long as you are students. So question arise, if you have the you are working under, let's say, Amali at your KKM hospital, you will also be covered under our insurance. Okay, that's it. The fourth situation, the fourth phase is for us to discuss about what is the actions taken against the registrar, the students, and also against the nurses and the supervisors. Okay, remember, the students, the attending doctor was a student at the time. Okay, as such, she has been brought over to the Jawatan Kuasa Tata Tertib Pelajar, Students Disciplinary Committee. So Student Disciplinary Committee, the worst punishment will be expelled from the university. The second worst is being suspended. Okay, the nurses been brought over to Jawatan Kuasa Tata Tertib Staff, the Staff Disciplinary Committee. The three nurses been brought over to Students Disciplinary Committee, and the supervisors we didn't take to we neither take him to the students or the staff disciplinary committee, he has been issued a warning letter, a reprimand letter, I would say. The attendant also be issued a reprimanded letter, but the 3 nurses been taken, the punishments been meted out to 3 of them. I don't want to share the punishments, but it's quite serious, the punishment. And the students, the attending doctors, she has been suspended for 2 semesters. People ask why she didn't been expelled. Simply because she's a student. We decided, the committee decided to suspend her for 2 semesters. So she has graduated. She has her MET, and she is graduated despite all these stories, despite all of this insane story. So there are 4 things that I've been discussing with you about the situations, about the insurance, about the liability, etc. So these gosh pads illustrate to you the whole situations if you are dealing with a medical legal case. So it's a good case for us to study. It's good for us. It's good case for you to understand as well. Okay, so we have definitions of negligence, definition of malpractice, and definitely I don't want to go further on this. Negligence simply because you neglect of doing something. Okay, misconduct is a malpractice, doesn't matter. But I would like to say that the amount of compensations now, the amount of compensations in medical legal back in year 2000 was about 219,000. But when it was in 2013, it was 56 million. And now in 2016, it was about 561 million at the moment. Okay, what were the salient cases of high amount of the compensation? If you look at the cases that I shared with you, all the CP case is in the high ranking chart of high amount of compensation. The cerebral palsy is the highest amount of payout, meaning that the highest amount for settlements for medical legal awarded by the court. And you look at the case in 2014 and 2015, the highest amount was about 7 million, 6 million and 7 million, even though it was reduced to 4.7 million at one point in time. And we have all these cases reported. Kerajaan Malaysia, meaning that it happened at the government hospital. Of course, there are also private hospital involved, like Glen Eagles and Penang Adventist Hospital. Okay, so how about us in USM? Okay, I would say to you, we are under control. We have really 1 to 2% of negligent injuries. But our medical legal is much lower. Negligent injuries means that about 1%, roughly about a year, we have about 20 cases that we do the amicable settlements, we do the ex gratia payments, but only a few cases been extended to court, meaning that been brought over to court by the parties by suing us USM. Okay, so we are here. We are okay. So potensi case medical legal, in currently we have only 3 cases happen in court. Okay, at the moment. Okay, but what does it mean by potential medical legal? Potential medical legal, we have 12 cases, simply because every time a lawyer issued a letter to us asking for documents, it is considered or classified under potential medical legal. Okay, but once it been brought over to court, it's called medical legal cases. But if it's not been brought over to court, it's still considered under potential medical legal. We have to maintain it for 6 years. For 6 years. So all the 12 cases accumulated for the past 6 years, meaning that every time for the past 6 years, these are the cases whereby we have been receiving inquiry or a letter to ask something, to ask explanation, letter from the patient's kin as well, asking for the details. It means that it been classified under a potential medical legal cases. At the moment, we do have about 12 cases. Okay, But 3 cases only been brought over to court at the moment that we are handling at the moment. So far, we never lost any case, but we do a lot of settlements outside court. Yes. So outside court, we do settlements like the one that I share with you, the Gosh Pet is considered a settlement outside court case. Okay, we never lost, we never go until a full hearing simply because we don't want it to be subjects in our TV3 bulletin utama. Okay, simply because all the medical legal cases that been brought over to us, the patients have some merits on their case. We are on the, or we really do the, we really have done some negligence or mistake in that case. That's why we don't want to pursue further, simply because if it's our mistake, then we try our best in order to settle outside court. But there are many cases also. There were about in the past where we won roughly about more than 10 cases in court, even though because we sincerely think that we have high chance to win, and we proceed in court and we won over the case. We won over the case. Then you may ask why we have won the case. What are the facts of the case? Simply because sometimes most of the cases we are not the original negligent parties. Negligent parties, for example, happened at the private hospital. Suddenly the case being brought over to hospital USM. Patient passed away, and the next of kin of patient sue the private hospital plus USM. In that case, we always fight in that situation of the case simply because we just attending the case after being referred by the private hospital. So far we have been successful in defending such case. So back in 2017, 2014 we look at, we have roughly about 3 cases as well, 4 cases as well. But in 2017 we come to a situation whereby we have 0 case in court. But here today in 2022 and 2023 we have 3 cases in court. I just want to share with you at one time. Okay, we do ask around when we do the survey to in our case when it comes to the medical legal situations, why people sue us. Okay, and these are the percentage. We done the survey back in 2017 and 2016. The remark there was something like teruk sangat. They have been we handle the patients teruk sangat according to the parties who sue us. Okay, some they need money in order to take care of their kin, their saudara, simply because we have done some negligence, and of course they need money in order to take care of the patients. But the third point is interesting. They said that they sue us simply because they believe there was a cover up. Okay, there was a cover up. Okay, and of course, point number 4, most of our medical legal cases involving minor kids. So we ask why they sue us, because their child has no future anymore. So they need to sue in order to ensure that lesson learned for hospital USM. No proactive action also been remarked in our survey. They said that the hospital made mistake, the doctor made mistake, but the hospital, the doctors, no one has contacted them to say sorry, to apologize, or even to explain to them what really happened. As a result, even though what made the thing worse is that they contacted the hospital and the hospital ignore them. Simply ignore them. So they said that they've been abandoned, they've been ignored, and no proactive actions from the hospital side. That's why they want to sue USM. They sued USM. Okay, this is same thing on the Gram and wanted revenge thing. apa ni, patients next of kin, because they said no proactive actions. The hospital didn't do anything, didn't take any steps in order to remedy or rectify the situations. They just being ignored, and some more they've been charged for the fees as well, for the hospital bill, and it really made them geram. Okay, and some of the remarks said that they sue USM because it involved orang yang mereka sayang. So this is why they sue USM. In our case, when we look at, I would have to say something like this as well. If we compare our statistic with other hospitals, teaching hospital in Klang Valley, of course we are much lower. We do have much lower statistic from the hospital in teaching hospital or university hospital in Klang Valley. This is because the Klang Valley's folks, maybe they are more aware on the medical legal situations, their rights in medical legal. But in Kelantan, particularly, the situations is that they accept the takdir, etc., and as a result, we have less case of suing people. Okay. This is a situation to illustrate what I said just now. Okay, whereby situations whereby there are many doctors and lawyers, and these lawyers are ready to advise their patients. Okay, most frequent allegations, and then in the hospital, to the nurses, and of course to the doctors as well. Medical legal also include jatuh katil, okay, falling down from the bed, and some of the injury from the jatuh katil is quite serious, and we have few cases also. We negotiate for some settlements simply because jatuh katil. We don't have case brought in court, but we do have cases whereby people threatening to sue us simply of the we don't take care of the patients, and as a result, patients jatuh katil. Okay, so most frequent allegations: negligence and malpractice, of course, failure to monitor and report, medication errors, and medication errors also quite rampant here. So far, we managed to handle it, meaning that supposed to be they give totally a wrong medications, okay, and it happened at pharmacy. I agree there's no case being brought to court, but we do have some cases for settlement. Failure to follow hospital procedures, documentations, of course, equipment use. One equipment use issue that I have is I attended one makcik, and she said it outright to me, something like, cucu ambo masuk hospital demam. Cucu ambo keluar hospital USM meninggal. Okay, we further probe on the case, and the doctor's defense was like the equipment used, the catheter used was not, the catheter used has some defects, and as a result, it burst inside. It burst inside, I would say, and it made the kids pass away. The kid was about 8 years old. Okay. So these are the things, the defects in the equipment used is also one of the situations that really happen in hospital USM. Informed consent, not in the list. So what I would like to share with you, informed consent should be a thing that you should know. Every time you want, before you attending a patient's surgery, you need to have a consent. Okay, so without the consent, you cannot proceed with the surgery. So these are the things about the emergency room mistake. Doctors in court, I already say to you. Okay, so in court normally, how people sue us. Okay, people sue us. Of course, if you have been employed by USM will be named as the defendant. Whatever liability that the court awarded to the patients will be paid by USM. Remember, I said just now, like 180,000 just now. 50,000 coming from our office, legal office. So you need to notify us about any of the medical legal case, because we are the one who paid out for the for the medical legal. The balance been paid by from the insurance. Okay, but if you are being sued, who are going to be named in the summons? Like in the slides here, it says that whether it's a night chancellor, it's you, okay, it's pengarah hospital USM, pengarah IPPT. IPPT also has hospital now, HUSM, USM, or PUU, myself, be named inside the name. No, only the university will be named, and you, the doctors involved. The pengarah hospital, pengarah IPPT, HUSM will not be named. Night chancellor also will not be named. So the right one is USM, you, the name of the doctors in charge at that particular point, another doctor if any, another nurse if any. But if only involve you, Dr. Ali bin Ahmad, then he or she can only sue USM and Dr. Ali bin Ahmad only. So you can't sue the whole lot like what I said just now. PUU, pengarah hospital, night chancellor. Night chancellor also we don't have the power. Don't need to be named as a plaintiff, as a defendant as well. So medical records and internal inquiry reports is also important for you to understand, whereby the latter situations that if a patient asks for medical records, shall we disclose the medical records or shall we not disclose the medical records? Okay, this is a case, the recent case in 2015. The court already decides. If the patient asks for the records of her medical records, you need to supply it. Look at the sentence in red. The patient have the right to know the names of the healthcare professionals providing the care and treatment to the patient. So your name will be disclosed by my office if you are involved. Okay. However, the medical record also you should supply. The medical records also, the court says that they are eligible, they have the right to get their medical records. So what are the documents that we should not share with them? The only documents that we should not share with them is the domestic inquiry situation, like the situations at the 8 million just now. Okay, we do have the internal inquiry investigation committee. That report should not be supplied. The rest should be supplied. Okay, I understand you may not understand. You may be not sure what to give and what not to give. You have to refer to us, our legal office. Remember, we do have one officer at campus kesihatan. Myself in campus Indo, definitely, but we do have one officer nama Wan Amir. He is in Kelantan. He's also an expert in medical legal. You can refer to him if there is any inquiry or reporting on the medical legal. Okay. So informed consent is ni, I've been told that it's only about 6 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go. I will be quick on this. Consent and definitions, of course, there is what I would like to say. If you didn't get consent, will be very troublesome to you? Yes, I would say, because look at your MMC's guideline. MMC's says very clear that no procedure, surgery, treatment or examination may be undertaken on a patient without the consent of the patient. So you do not risk yourself. Simply do not risk yourself. You should just get the consent straight away, because it's clearly contained in the provision 2 of the so how are you going to get the consent? Consent, of course you ask, but it need to be in writing. Don't give the consent through verbal consent. Okay, but whether it can be inside the WhatsApp, please do not put it inside WhatsApp. It need to be in a consent form, because consent form requires signature. But only in emergency case you don't need the consent form in writing. Only in emergency case. It's about life and death. Meaning that a particular accident victim, motorcycle accident victim, been brought over to you, and it's about life and death of him. Then only you can perform the surgery on him without the consent. But otherwise, you need to have consent. So it means that those who been warded inside the ward, you have the time time allocated for the surgery. It means that consent form is a must. Is a must consent form and should not be ignored. Okay. So patient signatures on the form is sufficient. No, you have to explain to them what are you going to do on their body, on the patient's body. So there are case law that they lost the case simply because the doctor just asked them to sign. It's considered consent without giving the explanation. So the doctors have the right, need to give the explanation. I do it fast because we have another 5 minutes to go. Provision 3 of your MMC guideline. If you fail to do that, you may be considered as a breach of duty care and you may be brought over to the disciplinary committee. So it's a very serious offence for you to procure the consent form. Okay, so I skip on the consent form because we have something more else to go. Okay. Let us see these situations. Pak Mat is a kidney failure patient who is mentally competent and adult patient. You need to administer blood to Pak Mat, and Pak Mat has been refusing for the new blood to be put onto him. Having fully advised on the medical consideration, whether you should administer or not, you should not. You should not. Okay, oral consent versus written consent. A signed consent is the best one. So we do have the signed consent, and then you just need to do the consent. Okay, how you going to avoid the medical negligence? Of course, what I would like you to say, doctors, all of you, you need to have the right mood. Because when you are not in the mood, then the medical legal chances to happen is very high. I think the casing point will be the case of the gauge packs just now, whereby the answers from the registrar was that she cannot remember how many packs she has been used. That is very serious offence. Very serious confession, I mean, not offence, very serious confession, whereby she didn't understand it. Okay, so I have 3 minutes to go, and these are the things that tiada maaf bagimu. I'm sorry, is do not do altering or falsifying the patient's records. Okay, and violations of an internal or external standards of practice despite being advised by the superior. You've been advised by the superior to follow all these guidelines, but you fail to do that. Example of case was just now the gauge packs case. Despite suppose final year MMed student should understand what are the standard procedures to happen, and she should be really aware about the counting of the gauge packs. Okay, sexual misconduct. Do not do it while you're performing your professional duties. We do have issues in hospital USM about sexual misconduct. Roughly about one cases twice a year, one cases per year or twice a year. We do have one or two cases a year on this sexual misconduct. But definitely you didn't know aware about it because we do conduct it through disciplinary actions. Okay, harassments, etc. Okay, I need to stop here. I don't know whether otherwise our video will be stopping. Okay, I've been signal another 2 minutes. Okay, okay. What to do if problem arises? This is going to be my last slide. Okay, if you receive any writ or summons on the medical legal, or you have done something wrong, you think that you have done something wrong about the attending a particular patient, then you should contact your superior, your penyelidik, your supervisor. Then your supervisor will contact me, the legal advisor, or you can also contact Wan Amir, my officers in campus kesihatan. From there, we will take care the case from our legal office in campus Indo. we will take care of the case. You don't need to communicate with them. We will communicate with them. So leave it with us, but you will only answer to our question only. You will only be called to our office, but not by the other side. So we want to protect you. Please be extra careful on this. Do not talk to the other side. Do not even talk to the families without our knowledge. Once you have received an indication that they will sue you, okay, no apologize should happen before our advice. Okay, you should not apologize even though you make mistake. Refer to us first. So in short, refer to us first for legal advice. If you feel that the other side has talked or mentioned about legal actions against you. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you very much to all the audience. I hope this short time really benefit you in terms of our sessions about medical legal. I'm sure if you have further questions, then the secretary can contact me for the face-to-face session. This is a recording sessions. Of course, hopefully we have limited capability in order to address your question. So I don't take any Q&A from you because it's a recording session. Thank you very much. If you have anything, just email me kaha@usm.my, KAHA@usm.my. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.